Loaded, but maybe not locked. Hi, Dean Jenkins with FollowMeTrades.com, and this is the market update for the week coming up of August 14th, 2017, and I'm recording it here on Saturday, August 12th. And I say loaded, but maybe not locked, in a bit of a tongue-in-cheek reference to President Trump's rhetoric about the United States military being locked and loaded and ready. But when we look at the stock market, it's certainly loaded, right? Last week we put in new highs, even against the backdrop of rising tension and escalations of the rhetoric between the U.S. government and North Korea, and that whole situation. So we did have a bit of a pullback here on Thursday, and the market came back just a little bit on Friday, seemed to have stabilized. But there's something interesting going on under the covers, even as the major indexes go on to put in incremental new highs. There's some interesting data that I've been watching really closely and been coming across, and let me show you that. Pretty good article here on Market Watch by Tommy Kilgore, and he's observing the same thing I am, and that is the stocks that are hitting new lows are outnumbering new highs by a very large margin. And so even though we're putting in new incremental highs, the number of stocks that are putting in lows are increasing, and that could be pointing to something changing in the market. And it's not just by a fraction. Here's a shot of the NASDAQ. And although the NASDAQ, the advancers at 1544 outpaced the decliners, so the total number of stocks advancing was 1544, the total number declining was 1415. That's a pretty close ratio. The number of stocks that put in new highs was 30, and the number of stocks that put in new lows was 135. That's a stark difference. That's a big ratio, right? Nearly 5 to 1 putting in new lows. So as we look at the S&P 500, we do see that it did put in new highs, but we also see momentum slowing from what it was doing earlier in the year. This is a price oscillator down here on the bottom, and you can see the peak from early summer till now. This is lower, and this is going down. So the momentum is definitely coming out of the rally. And when we look at that data for the number of stocks putting in new lows versus the number of stocks putting in new highs, that seems to indicate that the market overall is being led up by a few marquee names, but there may be growing volume of stocks that are already heading down, and that momentum could grow and could start a pretty good correction. Now, there's not evidence of that yet here in the S&P 500 or of the other indexes, but it's certainly something to pay attention to, particularly here at the end of it. 8+ years bull market. It's been going up. We've been going up with it, but we've been paying close attention and waiting for the inevitable correction. So we're not saying it has started yet, but something new is going on that hasn't happened in 18 months, and that is the number of stocks putting in new lows is greater than the number of stocks putting in new highs. So we will really continue to watch this carefully, and when we get technical evidence of a correction beginning, of course, that could get really exciting, and we'll be providing that update. Now, given the number of stocks putting in new lows, there are sectors and there are individual stocks that are showing very clear signs of heading down and beginning to correct ahead of the broad market. And I've identified a list of 12 of those, and I'm going to make that available for a one-time purchase. So, we have the ongoing stock pick subscription, but maybe there's folks who are interested in just a one-time pick to take a look. So I've got 12 stocks that have perfect short setups right now with good profit potential. So if you're interested, check out the link there and find out more about it. Let's take a look at gold. Gold's been interesting, and it looks like it's trying to get a bullish move going here. And if the indexes do head down, of course, historically, gold does move in an inverse correlation to the market. But we're approaching a key level here, and if you look, we had a high here, we had a high here, and we're approaching that same level, which could be significant. So what we're going to do is watch this level at about 1307.30, and if prices can get up to this line, they may reverse and then continue in this sloppy sideways channeling market that they've been in. But if they break through that, that could be a new bull move coming, a new upward move in gold. And you can see the Ichimoku cloud has switched to bullish. So let's see if it can break through that. Not calling it at this time, but what we are saying is if we break through this line at about 1307.30 with some real momentum, not just a couple ticks, but really break through that close above it, we could have a rally going in gold that could go up pretty high. And speaking of a difficult, somewhat hard to predict market, here's the oil futures contract. So on a big picture, right now, since the beginning of the year, really, oil's in a downtrend, right? Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. It did try to break through 50 earlier this week, and then collapse below it. It is above the Ichimoku cloud, uh, which may offer some support here. But again, these moves we've seen indicate a downtrend according to Dow theory. Technically, it's in a downtrend. We do have some growing bullish momentum. So to really change this, to break this pattern of a downtrend, it would have to go above this last high, which is above about 52. And lately, it can't stay above 50. So really unknown on oil, but watching this key level just above 52, or whether it breaks down through the cloud and heads on to make new lows. It'll tell us what it's going to do just following the price pattern here. But right now, oil is a little bit difficult, and we're not trading it because of that. So that's the summary. You know, we're still in a bull market. It hasn't ended. There are some signs kind of under the covers that may give some early indication of the market beginning to turn down. We'll pay attention. We'll give updates on that. And there are sectors and stocks that are heading down. We're already trading several, and we're in pretty nice profit on them. And I've identified 12 new ones just today, on Saturday, October 12th, as I was scanning the markets. And so those are available as a one-time thing. You can get a list, and I give complete details on those trades. So there's a link. You can check that out. Well, thanks, and that's it for this update. Look forward to giving you the next one when there's more information. Take care. Trade safe. Bye.